Sorry for the disruption. We were talking about Coke. We were talking about how stupid it is. Look.
But is the pure Coke better than...
I don't know if I've ever tried pure Coke, but let me just tell you something. Listen, kiddies.
All right, libertarian rant incoming. Let's go.
Stick to Adderall.
Oh, I thought you were about to launch into legalizing all drugs and shit.
I don't care that much about drugs, to be honest. Like, sure, why not? Why not? Sure.
Yeah, you're moving on to your TradCon phase.
Not really. I just don't think that if we're gonna have the libertarian argument, like, I don't think he started drugs.
What do you start on?
I don't know. Maybe eliminating like the alphabet agencies.
Oh yeah.
Maybe holding bureaucracies more accountable to the general public.
Okay, what was the other topic that we had?
Did you want to review
another news story?
You wanted to review something.
Oh, okay. I did want to talk about that media that we watched.
You start.
What did you watch, Vince? I know you fucking love it.
Dude, everyone...
You fucking show whore.
Everyone... I'm not a show whore.
Serious slut. You just fucking love just slurping up the slop. Just whatever corporate media is jizzing out, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, give me more of the shows. I'm watching a movie. No. I want to binge 2 seasons of a show in 2 days.
Vince loves The Bear, guys.
Guys, The Bear is one of the best shows I've seen this year. But I haven't seen a whole lot. But, look. Did I have any intention on watching this show? No. Did I see some stuff about it? Yes. Did I think it looked impressive? Not at all. I thought it was another woke show about being a chef in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. Tim Pool would be proud. The only thing he would probably hate about it is there's not enough black-on-black violence. You know how he gets off on that. There isn't enough of that, I will admit, and all the black people are portrayed in a positive light. I will say that. Yes, I know, it's not truly representative of Chicago. Who cares? It's a great show with heart, good cinematography, I think pretty impressive writing.
Are you talking about Ted Lasso?
No, I'm talking about The Bear.
Oh, okay. Vince refused to tell me anything about it. He was like, "You got to watch it."
You did just watch it.
Okay, it's that kind of show.
I just don't think, like, I can tell you the basic premise. It's like about a guy. It's basically this guy named, what's his name? Oh my God. Carmen Berzatto. He was once the top of the line chef in the best restaurant in the world. He takes his job overly seriously, but then he inherits this small little diner after his brother passes. Not going to go into the circumstances.
Okay.
And he's trying to build it up to be like this really good little eatery because he takes the job that way. He drinks the Kool-Aid.
He's an artiste chef.
Right. Really good portrayals of panic attacks.
Yeah, are you fucking serious?
It's good though. It's good. I think it's good.
You literally just fucking went on a rant last week about panic attacks and taking it all so seriously.
But in places I don't think it makes sense. Like children don't really need to learn about panic attacks. They shouldn't be having them. But like an adult in like his fucking 40s, when like having to face like his own mortality and like what he has to leave behind, yeah, kind of makes some sense.
Wait, I thought, wouldn't kids be more susceptible to panic attacks, like getting like freaked out by
what shit gets real for them?
I guess nothing really. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess maybe it is easier, but they're more shielded. I don't know.
Look, it just didn't feel so out of place in context of the show. I think when done properly, it's great. But like in the Velma show, I don't quite understand why the intricacies of the character necessitate you having to explain a panic attack. It made sense in Puss in Boots. I even gave it praise for that because it made sense in that show or in that movie. Sorry,
you brought that up, last week.
But like a Paw Patrol. I brought it up as an example. Like it's prolific.
That is great. No toddlers are having panic attacks.
Like it doesn't. Like I okay. Look, I will look just to make my stance clear.
I did see that clip.
To make my stance clear, I do not have an overt disgust over portrayals of panic attacks in media. I did bring out the fact that it is becoming prolific, especially in animated features.
Dude, you don't understand. Babies are having more panic attacks than ever.
Yeah, dude.
They need to see Paw Patrol.
Their life is tough, dude.
They need to
Their
see
life
Paw
is
Patrol.
tough. I understand.
They need to see it in the context.
Being a 40-year-old
of,
man is so much easier than being a toddler. It's like, like kids have to actually have fun. We get to pretend to have fun.
Wait. I don't get it. Is it easier to be an adult and a toddler? I don't get. What are you trying to say?
That it's not.
It's not easier to be an adult than a toddler.
With more agency becomes more responsibility. With more responsibility becomes more plight and ultimate failure and suffering.
Oh yeah.
No responsibility equals no plight equals no suffering.
But it's like okay, your life maybe is easier, but it's like harder to bear, like having no agency.
I think it's quite easy.
You know what I mean? Well, so you think people are ready to give up to an overlord?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what they ask of you.
Dude, it's like an innate desire in human life.
But there's something about agency that people crave also.
They think they do. And the ones who crave total control are sociopaths.
Because like people that hate their job are just always thinking about leaving.
But why do they stay? Because it's comfortable.
I guess there is something about it that comforts it. Or I guess it's
stability.
Staying
Stability
is better than
stability. So the devil you know is a lot less scary than the devil you don't.
That's what I'm saying. So they don't really like it. Well, I guess yeah, but
they don't like it. They don't like it, but the alternative is scarier.
I guess, but I'm worried that what you're saying is true, and that fascism is more possible than we think.
It literally is.
Where people just bow down to some
overlord. How many people were killing cops for arresting toddlers in New York City? 0. None. They bent the knee so fast.
You can't. Wait, what? What did they arrest him for?
Not wearing a mask during COVID.
No way.
I wasn't a toddler. Let me be real. It was like a 7-year-old, 6-year-old, but they put him in handcuffs, and it's quite disgusting.
That's fucking crazy.
That's
dude.
disgusting.
Damn, New York does not play around.
Yeah.
You see? Don't you want some agency?
Yes, I do.
Well, I guess that's why we live here. But yeah, but people that live in New York, they want that.
Sure. Enough people do.
Yeah.
I mean,
so shouldn't they have what they want?
Absolutely. Get what you want. Get what you want. Who am I to tell them how to live their life?
I mean, within limits.
No. Do it. Get what you do. What you want.
Oh man, we stopped talking about TV shows, but I was gonna do a sick burn where I was like, this guy binged 2 seasons of The Bear, but he won't finish Better Call Saul.
Oh, I know. I need to finish the last season, but here's the thing. You ever stay away from a show for so long that going back to it, you feel like you have to rewatch the entirety of what came before that?
Yeah.
And it's honestly giving me some level of anxiety. Like, oh, I'm going to have to watch the whole show again. But I thought maybe I should just watch a recap before I watch season 6. Because it's been so long. It's been like months because it finally came on Netflix like a month ago. But I'm like, but it's been so long since I've seen season 1 through 5.
My anxiety is stopping me from
watching
a show.
There's a little bit of anxiousness associated with it.
I'm a little bitch boy Vince.
Oh, fuck off. I'm going to watch it eventually.
I'm stressed. It's stressing me out, dude.
A little bit.
Not watching a show is stressing me out.
Fine. Wrong
Hashtag
word.
millennial problems.
Oh, fuck
Hashtag
off.
millennial fuckboys.
Oh, suck my dick.
Okay, fine. Then you know what? You won't mind listening to this. Okay, I pulled this clip.
Oh, is it gonna spoil it?
No.
Okay.
No. Nothing like actually specific. But like,
all right.
Okay, so this is Matt Christman, communist extraordinaire.
Nice.
Who this
Cum
is
Town?
No, but he's in that New York pod scene.
Nice.
Like they've been on. He's been.
Fuck the New York pod scene. It's all about the Austin pod scene, bitch.
dude. So like they're literally
We got Joe Rogan. We got Lex Fridman.
There's like the West Coast pod scene, like the LA and shit. You've got the Northeast, like the New York scene, and then literally, that's kind of like the third wing, is like the based Lex Fridman shit.
Lex Fridman, Joe Rogan,
Like
Michael Malice, and they did. What's his name ever come down? That fat fuck, Tim Dillon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh fuck! You know what?
He doesn't actually live in Austin, but it's like somewhere around there.
But I mean, not to be fucked up. Like I think he's pretty good. I said it.
Dude, honestly,
I like him a lot.
He's pretty funny. And you know the weird thing is, like, he's only
Alex Jones! How do we forget the Big Kahuna?
How
do we forget the Big Kahuna?
The whale of comedy podcasts. Of cultural
endeavors.
Yes, the peak of cultural attainment. Infowars. Yes, everyone should listen. But anyway, this is Mad Chris. He's in the New York pod scene, so he's like a far left commie guy.
Boo! Tomato! Boo!
But he does do a vlog where he talks about a lot of shit. Anyway, this is like him talking about. I like when he goes into critics. Okay, spoiler alert: he doesn't like Better Call Saul, which
fine.
I do. No. He thinks it's mid, but I think it's good. But anyway,
what do you give it?
I do like the commentary.
Overall, what do you give it? I give it like an 8.5.
That I was literally gonna say, like in the 8 range. Yeah.
You want to know my actual opinion when I'm finished with season 6?
What?
9. I already know it's gonna be a 9.
We'll see, dude. I remember one day I thought you had finished the season because you were talking all about Mike Ehrmantraut and how awesome a character he is. And
he's great.
How much better, like that's how much better it is in Breaking Bad and shit.
I do think it's better than Breaking Bad.
Well, we'll see. Okay, wait till this takedown just burns your ass. Okay.
All right. Cool.
And that's the part about these shows that gets totally annihilated. The aesthetic element in their evaluation. Because this is all a Calvinist fun-denying exercise.
Okay, he's talking about reviewers here. He's not talking
other
about shows.
People to see you're smart, doing homework for free.
He talks about this a lot.
That's not somebody who wants to have fun. That's somebody who has created a twisted, perverse, repressed inversion of fun. A Calvinist, in other words. So they can't recognize. They can recognize it maybe by perceiving it, but they cannot recognize by positively describing and affirming it.
He's talking about.
What is he saying?
He's talking about he was talking about
critics' inability to have fun,
like Twitter critics who are looking for like the deeper meaning in all these shows, and he's saying that like these people are like boring people who don't know how to have fun. That's why they turn their entertainment into homework.
How bad did that hurt you?
What do you mean?
You love looking for deeper meanings and the media that you ingest. Or at least you try to. Yes. I mean, I would say you think it's an imperative.
No, absolutely
You don't think it's an imperative?
Well, I think, okay, there's a connection between fun and, like,
meaning?
Kind of better storytelling, I guess. So it's like, I'm interested in that connection where it's like, where like they are having fun with deeper ideas. Like that's what something that is entertaining, that like that's like the best Star Trek, where it's like they're not telling you something, they're not telling you what to believe about an idea or something, right? They're playing with it.
They're positing it.
They're playing with it. Mm-hmm. And that's where the fun comes in, where you're getting like these different angles and the different sides, you know what I mean? But he's critiquing, like, snooty reviewers here. But he's
like
going to go into
intellectual web.
Yes, who are looking for like the social commentary.
Salamanca is some epically cool villain.
Okay, yeah, this is what I thought was funny. Where he starts. This is where he starts talking about.
Just as the last thing, people who thought Lalo Salamanca is some epically cool villain, I do not understand. Like, what was it? Was it the mustache? Like, oh, he's jolly but also evil. He smiles but then he kills people. That's so twisted. Like,
yeah, it's true.
This has been done a zillion times, and more importantly, it's not done with any distinction. It literally just is he chuckles and then kills people.
But the casting is awesome, though. And it's well executed. It's well executed.
In a show that is otherwise drained of fun for no good reason.
And I do think,
one of the reasons
yes.
people like Lalo is because he introduces like this wacky element that should already be there in a show about Saul Goodman, but is instead completely absent because of the serious.
Oh, bullshit! No, it's
not. I kind of agree. Okay,
no, it's not.
I thought that the Better Call
Dude,
Saul
the
show.
first season was wacky. Yes, it wasn't as the pace wasn't on the level of Breaking Bad for the first season. Yes, I will grant it that. But if you constantly need something flashing or popping up on screen in order to keep your eye glued to the screen, yeah, the show isn't for you. I will say that. I will admit that. And I'm not saying this sort of intellectual show that needs to be appreciated by the non-normies alike. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I do think a lot of the action is derived from like the simplicity of the entire show. Yes, like the action is derived from the drama. It's derived from the conversations, the anxiety-inducing fucking conversations that he has to have with his brother about the every facet of his fucking life. Yes, I do think that like not knowing everything up front is good. I want to know, why is their relationship so bad? How are we going to get to see the eventual turn from Jimmy to Saul Goodman? It's interesting. It's a good character study. I think Bob Odenkirk brings a lot of charisma to the show. And to say Lalo Salamanca is just like this one-dimensional wacky character, sure, fine, I'll grant him that. But there's a reason why he's so endeared. He does bring that charisma, that Cesar Romero-esque fucking Joker type architect. You could say the same thing about the Joker.
But you do have to admit there's nothing to him, though.
I don't think there's anything great about him, but I don't think there has to be.
No, yeah, because I like him. He's
a pure antagonist. Plain and simple.
He's the fun version of the twins.
Yeah.
Where like you don't really learn that much about them.
No.
You do get that one flashback scene. That's pretty cool.
But I mean, he does have some depth about him. Like, you kind of understand like where his moral lies, because there is a fucked up, like, twisted morality that he kind of encompasses. Like, he's serious about his family. Family is everything.
He's loyal to, yeah. I mean,
that's not like the most deep thing in the world, but for fuck's sake, like, neither was Darth Vader for the first 2 episodes of Star Wars until it was introduced that he was a fucking.
It's a simple character, but I think it's well executed because, like,
the beauty is in the simplicity.
You believe he's dangerous because, like, you believe that he is a killer. You know what I mean? It's all in the execution.
He kind of embodies some aspects of Gus Fring, some aspects of Hector Salamanca, not Hector. Oh yeah, a little bit of Hector and a little bit of
Tuco. Of Saul, because he's nobody else is sarcastic.
Yeah,
really, like none of the villains are in a that I can think of in that way.
But like he's supposed to be kind of like a foil to Saul Goodman, like he's like this really good businessman, really good at portraying himself to be like a likable person. But for some reason, like when he's first introduced, when he's just like cooking in the fucking in the restaurant,
that was awesome.
That was great, and like that shit-eating grin. But like there's like
that's
that
what
level
I'm saying,
of there's a level of tension there because Nacho knows something that the audience doesn't know, that this guy's fucked up. It's never shown immediately, but I believed it. Like I was like, there's something behind that fucked up face of his.
Yes, it's like something bad is about to happen, and this guy's totally calm. That's what I'm saying.
By sheer virtue of being related to the Salamancas.
It's all in the execution. Yeah. It's like the way that they do it is really well done, even though what they're doing is.
And the memes, dude. Okay. Show me. Great memes.
But here's what I'm talking about, where I'm saying like I kind of see what he's talking about, because
I understand.
Everything you're saying is like I ended up liking, but what really threw me off about the first 2 seasons was that I thought that like the Saul Goodman show would be tonally different from Breaking Bad, but it is tonally the same.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's fairly serious. It's all like super character driven, and I thought there would be more schemes.
There was a few.
That's why I think
there's a few.
That's why I felt like he really like Saul Goodman as a character peaked in the penultimate season.
5.
Yes. where he does that, where he fucks over
Howard.
Howard, yeah, and that because it was like a multi-episode scheme, I think, right?
It was
Yeah,
like a season scheme,
yeah,
dude.
and then the ramifications of that, and it's like that should have been every season. Like I would have been cool if that was every season, where it's like some build up to a scheme that ends up going, it spins out into this bigger story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then somehow there's some kind of weird resolution, or maybe not, and it spills over into the next. You know what I mean? Like Breaking Bad kind of did that, where they had season finales. It built up to this big climax, but then the next season still felt like, the beginning of the next season felt like we're in the aftermath of that climax.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same story. It's just
But
continuing.
they kind of did that when he lost his law license for fucking up.
No, they still did it. They still did it. But I'm saying it's like it wasn't. It was all like the first several seasons are all personal drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like Breaking Bad, where it's more about like his relationship with Skyler and his kids and his work and stuff. And it's like all the things that he's balancing.
Or even like that.
And it's about how
I feel like that's. I feel like that. I don't know. I just don't feel like that.
I'm saying it's tonally the same. And I honestly thought, because then after the first season, it's like, okay, now he's Saul Goodman. Okay, so it's like, okay, now he's going to commit to like doing his schemes. But then, no, it was another season of like, we're on the road and there's a lot more character drama that made Saul Goodman who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the Saul Goodman that And then they just flash, oh shit, never mind. But anyway, that's what I was saying, where it's like, I kind of get that, like, yeah, it does feel like Breaking Bad 2, sort of, or like a break, like.
But I don't think that's the point he's trying to illustrate. I think the point he's trying to illustrate is that the series is devoid of fun or any sort of character depth.
Well, fun, yeah, there isn't like. Okay,
I think it's a fun show.
I think it's more like interesting. Like I'm not like, it doesn't feel like a roller coaster or anything. Like it feels more like it's an emotional roller coaster.
I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like.
Okay, like a Mission Impossible movie is like a roller coaster, and this is like an emotional roller coaster.
Sure, but I don't know. I think the writing is there. I think the cinematography is there. I think the acting is there. I think the characters are there. I think the story is there. I think it has every.
Yeah, the characters are awesome. Kim Wexler is one of the coolest characters that in the Breaking Bad universe, honestly.
I would agree.
Like I would put him up there with Jesse.
I think maybe even slightly higher.
As like probably the best supporting, like that's like.
I think better than Jesse.
She was written so
Jesse
awesome.
started to piss me off, but I mean that's kind of like the function of the character. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think Aaron Paul, like
she's just a down ass bitch all the time.
Most of the time, but she'll put her foot down, which is something I really appreciate about the character. No, Jesse is just kind of. I liked him best in El Camino.
El Camino fucking rocks, dude.
I think if we're gonna go tier of,
I've said it before, I'll say it again.
I think as a move, I think that really should have been a miniseries.
Dude, the movie was so awesome, dude.
It's good. I rewatched it before rewatching Better Call Saul, and I liked it the first time I saw it. And I loved it the second time I saw it. I've only seen it twice, and
yes.
It's all there. It's a good movie.
Okay, the first time I saw it, I had just come off of like a Western binge.
Mm-hmm. Oh
no,
I
rewatched.
Dude, the Western influences, like it's like a neo-Western.
And it was yes, and that's why I loved it so much, because it was like you can still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like those the Clint Eastwood Western cowboy movies. Like
I mean, there's a fucking showdown at the end. There's a, what do you call it? When you draw your guns?
A
duel. There's a duel. There's a duel at the end.
And that's why I loved it so much. But because it was like, this is like it's just a Western, but set in the present day, and it works so good. But anyway, there's more. There's more criticism. You need to defend the show.
All right, this will be the last one because we got to move it on.
Okay.
I'm saying if Lalo is the fun part of your show, you fucked up. It should be funner than that.
Not necessarily.
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
Fun. See, I want to have like a review column about television where I just review the meta context of reviewing
Can we
television shows.
Oh.
Because I do have a lot of takes around TV. Because I'm as much of a fucking neutered dork as the rest of you. I gotta watch television more than I absolutely should. Because I'm like, what do I do with myself? So I'm watching this slop. And I, of course, want myself to appear to be intelligent. I'm talking about myself here.
Yeah, me too.
But I would like to just...
No, honestly, I don't care. But I do like talking about movies and shows and shit.
If no one else.
Didn't I just attack this point, though, a little bit preemptively?
By not having what?
Didn't I just preemptively attack that point? Like, I want to appear to be intelligent. Like, and I literally said, like, you don't have to be like the... I'm not saying the show is like for the highbrow, pseudo-intellectual type. I don't think you have to be that type of person to enjoy a show like this.
You don't have to be that type of Oh, yeah, of course not.
So, he's wrong.
But he did make a good point later. I'm skipping to it. Oh.
And Lalo isn't the funnest part. Lalo is not for the funnest part of the show.
And he has a fun bit about people keep telling him to watch Andor.
Oh, nice.
Have you know about that show?
It's
a Star Wars show, but it's like serious. Oh, Andy shits on Dune, dude. Okay, listen to this.
Basically, a Marvel movie, and if you don't recognize that, it's because your taste buds have been melted by...
Okay, honestly, I kind of get what he's talking about, because they do, like... If you've read the book, which I'm pretty sure he has, and I've read about the book, so I know kind of a lot of the other shit that's in there, and it's like... They strip everything out, but like the hero's journey part of it, and even though people say like it's not a real story, and I get it, it feels like the movie's getting cut off. There actually is a 3-act structure in there, where it's like in the 3rd act he like gets his powers and like gets control of them, and then in that 3rd act there's like all these scenes of him like using his newfound powers like a superhero movie. And so I kind of get what he is talking about, where...
But he's wrong. It's not like a Marvel movie. It's just like a good heroic journey film.
But it is the superhero structure of a character struggling with their destiny of using their powers for good, and then finally accepting that, and then getting control of them. You know what I mean? It's like...
But I don't think that's the superhero structure. I think that's just a hero structure.
There is a lot of... It is arguable that they're the same thing, and everything's happening in the same movie, but it does... The parallels are great whenever you have literal superpowers involved, and it's like controlling them is involved with the plot. Like that is superhero 101, like origin first movie type shit, you know?
Sure.
So I do kind of get what he's saying there.
But the pacing is completely different. The stakes are completely different. The character work is completely different. All these small like cosmetic stuff, I wouldn't consider them cosmetic, but I don't see the parallels between Dune and like the typical Marvel film. I understand what you're saying though. The underlying structure is heavily influenced from like the good heroic journey type, you know.
Yes, and if I researched this for an hour, I could probably like tell you like Spider-Man 1 and Dune and like all these points where they line up and stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or maybe I don't know, maybe Batman Begins or something.
Batman Begins probably closer.
Where although no, he becomes Batman right in the middle. They do a revert. Most blockbusters have a big defeat right in the middle, but they have a big victory where he becomes Batman right in the middle of the movie. But anyway, let's see what else he has to say. He doesn't like most superhero movies.
It's not a movie. It's an advertisement for another movie. It cuts the first act.
And I know a lot of people feel that way. I felt that way the first time I saw it too. But if you analyze it, it is a full movie. It is like a full character.
The end of the movie when they're just walking up the dune, and all of a sudden the Hans Zimmer score just gets really loud right before they cut to black. That's just trying to trick you into thinking that you just saw a whole movie.
Do they not show you like the sandworms and them riding them at the end of Dune?
And look again, why is it good though? Even though it has the same dull, muted, refinement culture, shout out Lindy Man aesthetic as a fucking Taco Bell.
Okay, he does talk about there's like there's like a prestige aesthetic.
Desert Planet movie. What are you going with? How about this? Tribal instruments. Holy shit, you're a genius. Like this movie should be a story.
Okay, did you feel? Didn't you feel that way the first time that it had cut off, and like the movie just kind of ends?
I don't think it's as egregious as he's saying it is. I do feel like I got a complete story out of it as opposed to Spider-Verse.
But technically it is on paper.
And even I'm softening up on the abrupt ending of Spider-Verse because I keep hearing... Like I heard Tim Pool talk about Spider-Verse for like a second. He thought it was the worst movie he'd ever seen. I'm like, all right, come on, dude. No, it's not. It's not the worst.
No, I don't think it's as good as the first one, but...
No, but it's not the worst. He's like, there's no ending. I'm like... I mean... If you were looking at it through the perspective of this being like a Miles Morales film, I understand why you think there's like no big resolution at the end. But if you look at it through like the lens of like Gwen Stacy as a character, I don't think it's the greatest arc in the world, but I do think there is a resolution to her story. And we start off with her in the beginning, and she's kind of prominent in the middle, and she's very prominent in the end. Honestly, this was a Gwen Stacy story, and so if we look at it through that lens, there is a resolution to her character's her character arc. I do think there is one. It's not the greatest, it's not the best, but it exists, and I do think that movie ties up itself nicely in a bow. Honestly, if it had been 15 minutes shorter, I don't think we'd be hating on it as much as possible. The third act is a bit bloated, and honestly, they could have cut it off a bit sooner. Definitely a 7 out of 10. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I think people calling it dog shit are missing the point. And then he said it was too woke. I'm like, is that really what detracts you from a film? It was really not that. It really wasn't woke. It really wasn't. I don't consider a movie with the fucking protect trans kids in the background poster. I don't think it's woke. Okay. I think it's just inclusionary for the sake of being inclusionary. But I don't think the overall mythos or story is
the Indian Spider-Man.
It's just an Indian spider. I don't know. I don't think it's woke. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Well, some people see like the Gwen Stacy story as some kind of an allegory for coming out.
I mean, even if that's the case, I don't think it's poorly done or like...
And what if she becomes a trans man? Gary Stacy.
Then it's probably woke.
Honestly, because I felt this way, and then...
Dude, the right is becoming more woke than the left right now. They are.
Yes, like no, this happened years ago, but like where the right became the... she degraded a male character. This is feminist. You know what I mean? It's like it's just the reverse shit of like, they're not displaying feminine characters powerfully enough. You know what I mean? And look what that led to. Like just like boring, fucking just women playing like male characters.
Dude, you know I just want my big titty, barely clothed women back in my video games in American media. Okay, is that too much to ask for?
Yes.
Ed Boon. Okay,
yes.
Stop piling on the clothes and stop getting Ronda Rousey to voice characters in your fighting games. Please, please and thank you. We need more Hideo Kojimas. We need more Capcoms.
Okay, this is the last critique of Breaking Bad that I want you to comment on. Okay, right. It was before. I'm sorry. This is the main
perspective. Absolutely not. Move on. But there was nothing to move on to. There was nothing else that everybody had experienced to talk about, and so that's what they talk about. By the time Better Call Saul shows up, it's the only thing with any connection to that era still around. And over time, it's need to remind us of that connection to a previous Belle Epoque of prestige television overwhelmed everything else. And by the end of the show, it's a third, the Salamancas versus Gus Fring. Like, just to remind you, hey, this is the show that you really liked. And then just watching everyone try so hard to wring something out of the show, it was annoying. Honestly.
Okay, you have to admit that
but
did
I
happen.
Understand, because what
no,
people are trying to find the social commentary.
That's a valid criticism. That's a valid criticism.
And that's where he jumps off into this next point. Like he's really talking about
just
the meta
watching
commentary.
Everyone try so hard to wring something out of the show, it was annoying, honestly. But I understand, because what else is there to talk about? And that's all we really want to do with this stuff is talk about it.
Yes.
We're just letting it wash over us.
That's all I want to do.
Work is afterwards. Hell, half the time we're not even really watching it. We got our phones in our hands.
It's so true. You know it. You know it to be true.
Yeah, I think shows make good conversation pieces for sure.
There's plenty.
They're cultural endeavors.
Being like Breaking Bad again.
What else are we, I understand watching it is like the fullest experience that you could have from it, but also talking about it afterward is also, if it's a good show, worthy of merit. Like that's what makes an endearing piece of culture, is the fact that we can have conversations about it.
The way I see it is like talking about something that you like is a different way of enjoying it again.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, I went on this amazing vacation. Let me tell you about it.
But I think his more of his gripe and criticism is the people who watch the show just to kind of extract from it, as opposed to enjoying
just to
it
have
as a
take,
whole.
Yeah.
But and then if that was the case, then I 100% agree, and I don't want to like.
That is probably what he's referring to, honestly. But.
Yeah, and I don't want to mischaracterize. I don't want to mischaracterize his.
He's a total Twitter creature.
I am too. It takes one to know one, so I'm not going to throw that in his face. Look, I'm gonna be real. I don't think his criticisms are unwarranted.
No, the meta commentary is totally on point.
But what does that even mean, meta commentary?
I mean, what he had to say about
the commentary.
People,
yeah, I agree.
The commentary on the commentary.
I agree.
Is like, there's like this race to
be
have the
most refined and in-depth take.
Yes.
And I do think I think
there's a place for that, yeah.
Sure. But, I mean, as far as my enjoyment of the show is concerned, I just think that it just works as a great character piece, and it really is that simple. It's kind of the same reason I enjoyed Breaking Bad. I mean, honestly, Saul Goodman and Walt kind of go down the same path. Like, enough is never enough. Like, I have to get as close to the edge as possible in order for myself to feel any level of fulfillment.
That's another parallel, yeah.
But I think
like I
do think Saul kind of comes up better at the end. From what I know, I do know a bit about the ending. He turns himself in, kind of takes accountability for his actions.
That's another thing where it's like the Hobbit problem, where the biggest thing has already happened in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like Walter White is and so his punishment is greater.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Saul is not
the worst guy.
He's not the worst guy in the world, yeah. And he does have redeeming qualities about him. And so his ending is not like the worst. His fate isn't like the worst possible. It's sad. It is still sad, and he still does lose. But, it's not like nobody loves him anymore, and he's all alone, and he's dead, and he dies alone. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's not that bad. Because the biggest, we've already seen the worst guy in this universe. We've already seen the most interesting guy in this universe, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not on that same level of The Hobbit, but you know what I'm saying, right?
See, but this is also the thing that I don't think people really
Which is why I wish they had taken this show tonally somewhere totally different. So it's like we're not comparing their arcs and we're not comparing their finales because they are on totally different paths and it's a totally different show.
Sure. I mean, I don't...
Do you think they probably... Well, it probably is the show that they wanted to make because it's like, we're in the Breaking Bad universe and we're all the same writers. And of course the show is going to be similar.
I think they got more than what they wanted. The show was originally supposed to be 4 seasons. But they came to the realization that they couldn't tell that story that they wanted to tell in 4 seasons. So they upped it to 2. And you kind of run into that problem where... I understand some shows overstaying their welcome. Like, I'm glad Breaking Bad ended where it did, and I'm glad Better Call Saul ended where it did. But then you get like shows like Samurai Jack when you get the revival, the 1-season revival. But the episode allotment was just not enough. It needed at least 2 more episodes, in my humble opinion, or longer episodes. And I think Tartakovsky got as much as he wanted within the realm of possibility, but I think he would have loved to have had another 2 seasons to tell that story he wanted to tell. So, if in my opinion, I do think Vince Gilligan got more than what he bargained for. I'm sure there was compromises made along the way. I'm sure he had to.
You think he would have done a whole season with them together? That would have been cool.
I think just 2 episodes would have been fine.
Yeah, honestly, I think that would have been better. It would have made the end like even sadder, but
the ending was really sad. I think it ended good, but I think the 2 episodes leading up to it, and then kind of the first half of the finale was just kind of rushed.
I guess he just didn't have any interest in that
I don't believe that.
Like a couple.
I don't believe that.
Because he could have introduced her earlier and shortened the.
She's like in episode 2 and 3. I thought she.
I'm sorry. I mean,
her as
the turn.
The turn. Honestly, I think if you wanted to keep the episode count, you could have just made the episodes a little bit longer. They should have been like full half hours instead of 20 minutes.
Maybe I think he likes that because like the 2 shows.
It does work really well with his pace.
The 2 shows that he did after that are, I think, 20-minute.
Because if you were to break down the episodes by like 2 words, like you probably could, because not a lot actually happens.
I don't know. Primal, a lot of shit happens actually. Like
not really.
It's actually
though.
pretty plot heavy.
Not really.
Some of the episodes really like end like they start in a completely different place than the
true.
ending.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? And it's like there's a pretty long journey, or like there's at least some back and forth.
The overall plot is very simple. Fang and Spear go to this place and trouble ensues.
No, the Genndy Tartakovsky model is my what's the most interesting protagonist I could have that could have like the most interesting fights? It's always my protagonist versus X. That's every episode of every one of his shows ever.
Well, there's like man versus time, man versus nature.
Yeah. Sometimes it's intangible, but usually it's like there's some kind of person or being or creature.
But they're the perfect vessel for that sort of story. I think he's a great storyteller. I don't even think he's a great cartoonist, even though I think his cartoon aesthetic and flair is good. Sometimes a bit much. Like on that new show.
His latest show is probably it's stylistically the most out there, I would say.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it, and I do want to watch the show in full.
There's some really good animation in there. I think so far it's not as better than Primal, like in terms of.
Do you think Primal is his
dude,
magnum opus?
The backgrounds in Primal are insane.
Do you think that's his magnum opus?
I think art like I think it artistically, like style-wise, it is his greatest show.
I think
it is his best-looking show.
No, I think overall it's his best show.
I think the last season of Samurai Jack is probably my favorite like story that he's told. The ending of Primal is a little.
Is there gonna be a 3rd season?
I don't think so. I think he's moved on.
So it comes to a final.
Yes, like, yeah.
Fuck, I need to finish it. Fuck.
Are you serious?
I know.
Vince, we're pop culture podcasters now, and you are not watching every fucking thing that's coming out. At least the good shit. I mean, this is top tier. But yeah, Primal, honestly, it's so good, but like, it feels like he just like, they were like they told him the night before, like, oh yeah, this is your last episode. And he's like, what? Oh shit, fuck.
Well, boys, I hate to call it early because I feel like we were just getting onto a good roll, and I feel like Genndy Tartakovsky.
I wanted to do another 10 on Genndy because yes, Primal is the best looking show, but I think the last season of Samurai Jack is just like the perfect blend of like storytelling. The art is the backgrounds are insane. The action is incredible. The story, the protagonist, it's just like the dead, so close to the dead center of like
where he pops off the most.
That, and I was gonna say like my personal interest where it's like I love like when you kind of like take like the action hero protagonist to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And Gendy like is a master of it, and Primal is that too. Where it's like you like this could be a dumb show, but it's not. Where it's like you have this wacky protagonist, but you take it dead fucking serious. Like you treat it like, no, we're making fucking
art.
Yes. And my
that's what I love
my caveman dinosaur show is gonna be the best fucking shit you've ever seen. And it is the most beautiful backgrounds you have ever seen.
Dude, they do, and they're so simple too.
That's why he's fucking awesome, dude. That his storytelling, he's like a minimalist storyteller. The backgrounds, the dialogue, the plot, like it's all.
But when it comes to action, though, that's when he throws all hands on deck. This is going to be the most
your twists and turns.
It's going to be the most intrinsic, most fucking intricate, stylistic sequence that you've ever seen. Am I going to have 30 shots of someone unsheathing a sword? You fucking believe it. Am I going to have 30 shots of enemies piling on? You better fucking believe it. Am I going to have like really long sequences of people running at each other for 10 seconds, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it is? You better fucking believe it. And it works, and it pops, and when he's firing on all cylinders, you just kind of expect it. You're waiting for it to happen. You're like, oh, I can't wait to see how this fucking turns up at the end. I can't wait to see how fucking insane when he's got everything going, man. It's a sight to behold. And I do think he's a transcendent artist and should be respected. I don't even like calling him like a cartoonist. I don't like calling him this or that. I think he's a fucking artist. He's a master of his craft.
The episode, like, 4 of the last season of Samurai Jack, when he faces down all 6 sisters in the snow.
It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
I'm coming at home. I'm coming on my couch. I'm coming in my room. But
oh, it's so sick.
Yeah, that is top tier.
With the flashback, when his dad had to kill those fucking mercs, and he plays that line to them, I was like, that's the coldest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Yeah, and Gendy explains why you have to kill people.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to.
Listen, children, sometimes you've got... Look, I'm a nice guy, but if you fuck with my family...
You must die.
Yeah, you're going to get the Samurai Jack.
I'm a two-way absolutist. Non-aggression principle, dude. I will not start aggression, but I will finish it.
You've got to.
Yes.
Okay, I'm satisfied.
All right, boys. Listen, watch Primal. Watch the ending of Samurai Jack. Watch Better Call Saul. And watch The Bear.
And check out Unicorn Warriors.
You don't have to watch that, but...
I'm watching it. It's good.
Is it good?
Honestly, it is good. But
is the second episode better than the first?
I don't know.
Because I wanted to like it.
The protagonist looks like a...
Betty Boop.
Nobody...
Betty Boop.
Nobody...
Betty Boop.
Nobody...